I'm not sure if I want to record. I want to make sure I can hear. 1 second. Quick audio check. Yep. All right, all right. Good morning. Got a little funk in the background. We're going to try to mellow it out today. For what is this? Episode 11 of Coffee and Lead. Thank you for joining me. This is Arts of the Round Table. My name is Mello, and we're going to be inking Fisto, and well, I ink. I'll tell you. I'll tell you why this came to be, and I'll show you my inspirations, and I'll show you the yeah. I'll do all that. All right. What number is this? Number 2. I like the way I'm going to be using my Winsor Newton brushes, and I'm also going to crack open this brush right here. A King Art Premium Finesse. We shall see. But these, they have child-proof plastic, so I can't get it open. I hope you guys are doing well. Let me just move this here. I'm going to be doing a bunch of stuff. I got some pictures and some stuff I want to show you guys. This is my alternative to the Winsor Newton brushes for inking. So I'm going to give that a shot today as well. I'm just going to be using my Bombay Black. This has a mix of this Japanese ink in it. Predominantly more this Japanese ink than Bombay Black at this point. So, but yeah, man. Make sure you guys say hello. Let me know you're on. But we're gonna be hanging out. We're gonna be chilling. Ink here. This is gonna be my scrap, so I can round out my brushes. Let me clean this one. Dilla Ranger, how are you? Good morning. Well, it's good morning where I am. I won't assume it's morning where you are, but good morning. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I've been having some audio issues, and I don't know if this is the right brush for me today. I think I would have a. I'm trying to get. Oh, thank you. I'm trying to get a really good point on this brush here. This is the brush, my preferred brush at the moment, honestly. The Pentel brushes are my go-to. I love these, but I'm trying to be a little bit more traditional and use some of these. But these work fantastic, and when nobody's looking, this is usually what I'm using. I have several of those, but I want to show you guys. See how sweet that point is. That's what I'm trying to get. But I don't think I got the right brush. We can find out. Dilla Ranger, is this the first time I'm coming through my page? I'm laggy. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I may have too many things going on around me that's taxing the my network at home or my studio. So that's actually not bad. But thank you for letting me know. So I won't be able to do very sharp lines with this brush, and it feels too small. It doesn't snap the way I was expecting. Yeah, I'll show you the difference. If you'll be, I'll move this over so you can see the difference here. Obviously, it's a smaller brush, but the this is a number 3. I might switch to a number 2. But I gotta find those. So, all right, let's do it. Make sure my microphones are still working. Believe me, I've been having some just terrible technical issues on some of my streams. All right, let me scooch this over so you can see the whole page. Casper Poo, 293. Good morning. It's morning where I am, so I won't assume it's morning where you are, but good morning and welcome. I'm about to start right now, so I apologize for the delay. If you guys scroll up a little bit, if you guys are comfortable and you want to see the full page, my full table, you can go ahead and check that out on a link, on the third link there on my third chat. Let me refresh this page. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me so early. I'm going to do this instead. I don't know what's going on with my ink, but it started to congeal inside of this container. So I had to add a bit of isopropyl alcohol to it. We'll see what happens. All right. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to start on the left here on this fist. I think I'm going to work a lot more on the holding lines, just the outer line, outer drawing part. And feel free to ask any questions in the chat or anything like that. I am be more than happy to talk with you guys. I'm not worrying too much about line weight or anything like that at the moment because I will be painting this maybe tomorrow. I want to. It's pretty much a small drawing. Not a lot of details, so I should be able to get through the inking part fairly quick within the next 2 hours or so, I think. I'm already dirty. I just started. Trying to be a bit more looser with the brush and not hold it so tight. It's just a really bad habit that I've had forever. One of the things I'm trying to practice with my brushes is building the line, meaning I'm looking at these lines as a shape. So I'm trying to draw put ink on the outside and the inside of the line, if that makes sense, instead of kind of throwing it sometimes. Usually, if for these smaller lines that are going to go on the beard, I'll probably throw them and get a little bit of feathering going on with those. But I'm still trying to work my way to being comfortable with building and painting the line instead of just throwing the line. I'm going to try not to rotate the canvas too much either. Yes, I am using India ink. I'm using the Bombay Black Doc Martens India ink. But these bottles were um, low. I had a low quantity in there, and I was trying some different inks. So this is a Japanese calligraphy ink. This waterproof as well. So I mixed the two, and I'm not sure if that was the right, good idea. I mean, I get really good pigmented blacks, but they are congealing way too quickly inside of the containers. I'm going to rotate this a little bit. I was trying different, and the reason I did that is because I'm trying different brands. It gets really expensive, especially when you start listening to artists and the brands that they use, um, established artists. And I'm frugal, man, and the world is expensive right now. So I want to try to save some money while I try to earn some money. I'm just going to rotate this slowly. But in a moment, once I do this arm, I'll show you the, if you guys are interested, the reference image that I'm using. I appreciate you. Thank you for swinging through. If you don't mind, hit a like on that. And if you're interested of this type of stuff, make sure you subscribe. I'm on all the time, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much, and no need for apologies. All right, that looks good there. I have some guidelines here, And I am peeking at the my reference, but I'm trying to be pretty loose, especially with these marks here, because they look really loose on my reference here. But ink in my face. You're back. Well, welcome back. Trying not to get any frayed hairs on this thing, so. All right. I feel like I gotta loosen up a bit on these brush strokes. All right, let's do some stuff up here. Try to move around equally around the page, just so that the ink can dry and I don't risk smearing. because this is a Wolverine homage, I am giving a hint of Wolverine. Not too much, just enough to pay respect here. This is probably one of the hardest pieces here. Just so I can give a bit of life to his hair here. I hope you guys don't mind that I'm quiet. But feel free to interrupt the silence if needed. All right. I think we can work this hand here. Let's do that. I gotta check if Fisto. Okay. Bare hand, so I guess I'm gonna have to draw the fingernail. Excuse me. Do 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 do. If you guys are watching on the horizontal stream, make sure you say hello. Let me know you're there. Be creeping around, man. Here, I'll put this up in here for you. Don't forget to say hello. Don't forget to hit the like. Ask questions. We hanging out. And a hush over the crowd. I have a leather mat on my table, and it doesn't allow for smooth movement. I'm surprised I don't have my glove on. Okay, here we go. Ooh. Drawing while talking. How you doing? This is, yes, an homage to that Wolverine cover. Uh, is it still morning? Good morning from where I am. Good morning to you, sir. Appreciate your company. But yes, this is actually the character Fisto from He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, and of my art bud Rob Norton's Masters End series. And cool story about this thing is that I was doing a live stream. I can't even remember what the stream was at the time. I might have to take a look back. But a fellow artist from Denmark, which is kind of cool already, uh, jumped on the stream, introduced himself. His name is Rick Bulow, and he was or is a teacher and instructor of art. He had his own channel, or he was a host on a channel for several years. And there is. He was interested in collaborating for funsies, and I was like, "Sure, let's go with it. Let's see what happens." And we're both He-Man fans, and with the movie coming out later on this year, this is what we chose. He let me decide, and he's actually going to paint a version of this drawing. Oh yeah, I don't read the books. I know they've had several. Uh, I grew up watching the cartoon, the He-Man and She-Ra cartoon. I have two older sisters, so I won't blame them for watching it because I enjoyed them myself. So yeah, he said he'd be interested in drawing. Excuse me, he would be interested in painting something that I drew, which already was a pretty cool idea. I said, let's go for it. I'll show you his page because it looks his artwork is amazing. Um, and he's doing right now some comic covers, and well, let's go for it. I'm trying to match Wolverine's face and shadow with a guy that has a full beard and mustache, and but I'm trying to stay true to both characters, and this is actually a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. I'm also trying to trust Frank Miller's ink lines. So, you started recently the new Shira that Affleck had. Yeah, I think the artwork is kind of cutesy on that one. I think that's the reimagined version of it. I don't know if it was popular or if it was received well, but I haven't gotten an opportunity to watch any of this stuff. All right, let's see. But before we canceled Netflix here at Casa de Mel, I was able to catch the He-Man series they did with Kevin Smith. That's not bad. 5 years is not too bad. Not too bad at all. I'm trying not to rotate the page too much. Let me get a sip. Now I can switch to water, which is really what I should have been drinking. Until I get sponsored by a coffee company. It's all about the sponsors. Yeah, it's so funny looking at these. Even for something like this, I'm trying to copy Frank Miller's ink lines, and I'm sure he just kind of like sped through, and the fact that I'm trying to like reverse engineer his line, and I'm going so slow, just shows the confidence that that guy had in his prime. It's black, black, black. Spot that for a second. This actually should be higher. Oh, you're probably right. They don't make any qualms about the people that they would crib from, you know? So you're probably right. You're probably right. All right. Dark, dark. Make yours dry. I'm adding a bit more shadow to my character just because that's the way I draw. Where's my dude? And I'm sure he used bigger brushes than I am using. Try not to rotate the canvas too much, even though they tell you to. Inkers do. Rotate, rotate, rotate. But the moment you get comfortable with that, rotating, rotating, and rotating, it makes it difficult when you if you're trying to paint at the same time. In my opinion, of course. I have a bad habit. I got a bad shoulder, so everything is kind of skewed to my right. So I have to constantly make sure that my page is straight for a couple of reasons. One, because it makes it easier for you guys to see, and it makes me to practice sharper lines and straighter lines. But there are some lines that need to be curved. If you see me back and forth here with my coconut, it's because my vertical stream is on my left side here, and I'm just trying to make sure that I include and welcome and say hello to people going back and forth. But yeah, you were saying Frank was a huge admirer of Japanese calligraphy and how they would use brush and ink. He's one that I am amazed at how much his art has evolved, for good or bad. But in his prime, it was something else. Man, I do enjoy the way the inks look. Yeah, apparently he liked it so much that he was trying to have he he would redo some panels during his Dark Knight Returns run with Klaus Janson, who's an amazing inker in his own right. He would redo his panels to match the aesthetic he was looking for. But yeah, during this run with him in Claremont, where Wolverine is in Japan, you can see a lot of Japanese influences in his brushwork. All right, let me see if I can. Yeah, when I first was trying to figure out my how I wanted to adapt my art style to painting. I was hiding a lot of the inks because I was going to paint over it. Well, with the last piece that I did with of the Rocketeer, I was able to get a little tighter with my paints, and I'm thinking of it trying to because I can still be tight with the paints and experimental, if that makes sense. And I'll show you the final result of that one in a moment. I actually really like that, the way that one came out. Oh, it's not worried about. You don't have to apologize for missing any of that stuff either. So, yes, I was able to do it all on. What did I do? On Thursday, I drew it and I inked it. Uh, I wanted to make sure I finished it, and then on Friday morning, I started the painting stream. Yeah, I'll show you in a hot second. I'm gonna. All right, I'm trying to find a balance here. Okay. The thing with inking uh, that I've noticed is that for me, I have to stop or we'll go too far. It's just how quickly realize the image looks. All right, let me see if I can use some effects here. This will be the hardest because I got to paint over it. So let me just set this aside. I'll think about it. On brush. Point, Bam. So this is the end result of the Rocketeer here. Once I removed it from the tape, I went and used white acrylic just so that I wouldn't have to keep applying and applying white gouache. Excuse me. Uh, but yeah, I kind of like the way I didn't have to. I still went over the black line with black acrylic just so it can pop because I knew the gouache the gouache dries matte, so I avoided using the black that way and went straight for black acrylic, and I think it came out pretty good. I like the eye. But the coolest part was I was able to then finish it, scan it in, and then I went and did a fake cover just to see what it would look like. Just because, honestly, I'm on the south side of the 40s. But I still have that wonder and that what if and that sense of of wanting to see something of mine on a comic rack or being able to put the stuff on my photo editing software and tweak it to make it look like a cover. It's just it was cool for me, and I can't wait for that bucket list item to get crossed off eventually. But I just really like how desaturated the colors appear, even on the copy. Same type of paper, same Bristol board. So here they are, side by side, kind of. And I try not to do too much, but it was they were never gonna. The I guess the printer was never gonna be able to match this piece. So it looks kind of like if it was marker. So, but I can dig it. It was fun to do, and it just I love the pulp era, even though this character is from the pulp era, but is a it was created in the 80s. It just reawakened some inspiration to do some more pulp style heroes and these full covers for those heroes, like the Shadow, the Phantom. I got an idea for Dick Tracy. That would be I think it'll be pretty good. Doc Savage and all of those. We shall see. But it'll be fun to do. I think that's what's going to be great. Um, so yeah, I want to finish inking this. I I do I want to work with writers and do the interior only, do covers, or would you want to write? So I understand my limitations right now as an artist. The interior art would be difficult for me because it's not something that I practice or put, even though as much as I've always wanted to do it. I am suffering a steep learning curve as I'm actually writing and drawing my own short story. So right now, pinups and splash pages and covers is where I'm going to end up cutting my teeth. Um, until I can prove one to myself that I can do interior sequential art. And you know what? Here, I'll show you something. I'll show you what I'm working on briefly here. Give me one moment. As we digress, but that's okay. Good day. It's 11 o'clock. That's cool. So, it's okay. It's no biggie. It's no biggie. It's actually, it's kind of silly. It's not, it's a, I, it's set during, it's a Christmas story, kind of, but it's set during the holidays. Here, I'll show you. So, last year, Christmas Eve or so, I didn't sign it. I was just messing around and I drew these two off of some references that I had and some references that I had and some what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say denied, rejected. Some rejected concept sketches and ideas that I had when I was working with a writer. This writer was doing a kind of like a, oh my lord, I might need another cup because I can't even seem to get my thoughts together. He was writing a novella, a thriller, and the what up saboteur and the oh this face and the main characters started to have waking nightmares of two particular people, a male and a female, and some of the concept sketches that I had failed, but I kept them. And I was bored one day, Christmas Eve, and I started messing around. And I drew these characters, and it was kind of a joke piece. Anyway, turned into uh, that they are. When I went to post this image, and I looked for music during that time, there was nothing but Christmas music. So that's what started the ball rolling. But um, I'm not trying to be vague. Saying it out loud is so goofy. But these are fixers. They are elves. They're elves and they're fixers, and they have a job once a year during Christmas Eve to go fix an issue, either for miserable people or the mob or things of that nature. So um, there are certain times throughout the year. This is kind of like the back mythos that I've been trying to build up on, where a miserable person makes a wish during Christmas and it's granted. And these two characters go and try to fulfill that Christmas wish. And in this particular wish is just turns into a full out brawl at a dive bar on Christmas Eve. So, and that's the big guy, as you can imagine. That's old Saint Nick, and those are the elves. So I was having, it's all written, it's all set up. Yeah, so he's kind of like the bruiser, uh, monosyllabic, uh, and she's kind of like the accountant type. She doesn't like to cause damage because it just costs more to repair, and he just wants to get the job done. The bigger the wish, the bigger the bang, that type of stuff, that type of mentality. So they have kind of like that relationship. So when the idea popped up, it was gangbusters. I was writing it. I wrote what started out as a 6-page story turned into closer to a 20-page story, just because I wanted to add hero shots and uh, 2-page spreads and homages to heroes and artists. I have some finished panels here. Like this is one of my first panels, and this is just simple bar scene, bartender and some thugs before the stuff goes in. The stuff starts happening, and but that's what it was. It just started to like just build and build, and then I realized, bro, you don't know how to do sequential storytelling. You have an idea because you've looked at so many, and you're a film nerd, so you have an idea of where you want things to go. But to be the cameraman, the director, the writer, the stunt coordinator, and all of those different things that a comic writer and creator has to go through, I realized that juggling all those hats, there's a reason why the work is divided. Let me see if I have something. So then, what I instead what I started to do was homages to certain things, my own pinups, having the main character in a Dirty Harry style pose, and he has pistols named after Santa's reindeers. Where is it? Yeah, this was probably the most realized page, and I just sat down while I was watching TV and studying a bunch of other my art books of one of the fight sequences, and it's so chaotic. But I was trying to. Uh, our main guy, our hero, is shooting up the place. These elves can't kill, so they hurt you pretty bad because they can't kill you. So rubber bullets and hand to hand combat, and then by the end of the evening, everything gets reset anyways. So he's going to town. So it makes their it even makes their dynamic of little damage as possible kind of silly in the first place, considering everything just resets. And that's me here getting punched in the face. I had to model that. And that's my female character grabbing me by the collar. She's telling him, hold still. He's saying, be gentle. And she pops him one. So I started to have a lot more fun coming up with the page idea than I did the how to practically get it done. Yeah, and you're right. Let me say, I'll read. You know what? I'll put it up there. You realize that as well, and that they stalled your progress, like feeling like you got to learn everything and get good enough before you can progress, and you want to stop and just do the thing. So I saw something. There's been a lot of things happening. I don't believe in coincidences anymore. There's certain things that pop up that are meant to pop up to either as confirmations or revelations or things of that nature, whatever you want to call it. And one of the things that I saw yesterday was indie comic creator's video that said drawing comics made him realize he had to draw, taught him how to draw everything. And I could only imagine. So this is another page today. Just messing around here. And just trying to realize it here on the page. But what started to happen is that I started veering off another pinup. I started to veer off from what I was intending to do. So that's why I stopped. I like that picture. So so that I wouldn't give up on it completely. That's what I was doing. I was doing redoing my panels, doing pinups just to keep those characters with me, keep the characters with me, and just to so that I won't completely. Oh yeah, that's one of my favorites here. So I won't completely forget about them and dismiss them. But yeah, this is a conversation between the bartender because they're tearing up his place. So he's asking, "Why is this happening to me?" And our hero, the brute, just doesn't really care because you're a loser. Because you're a loser, and the big guy, meaning Santa Claus, he loves losers. So enjoy your wish as they tear up his joint. So it's kind of dark. It's kind of funny. It's comedic violence and just angsty noir type style dialogue and photos. Like she's gentle, come with me, stay over here. We're here to help you. I promise. Kisses him in the cheek, and then she just turns around. Let's rock. Ready to kick ass. And my exterior shot for the page one, which I'm like, there's a ton of stuff that I really want to get need to get good at. Thank you. And I'm not concerned about the speed. It'll happen when it happens. I was like, when I first started it, I'm like, oh, it's Christmas, so I got this deadline for Christmas, and this, that, and the other, and um, and I thought I would have a lot more done. Nobody's really messing with me about it. So it's all me. So I'm like, I started to get really down about it, about the lack of progress of movement. Okay, but I was really kind of, I'm like, why are you feeling this way, man? Anybody bothering you? So I like the story. Every time I bring it up, it makes me laugh. So I know it'll stay with me. But I do intend on finish it though. But I keep there's another artist that I follow and I respect his word and opinion. He says, "Stop saying you're gonna do it and do it." So I am taking his advice, and I'm just going to work on it when I work on it. I think it'll save me. But I also wanted to share the progress of it. So I'm thinking of he is gonna pound the crapola out of somebody, buddy. Uh, I might record the process, but not on a live, so that I can narrate and kind of like talk about the struggles. Yeah, I've had other stories. Obviously, growing up, your imagination goes wild, and I had a few when I was in college that I wanted to try to do, but I mean, they were just too ambitious in skill level and resources was non-existent. 2 out of 3 of those I still have. But so yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen. Trying to make sure I don't show you guys my password on my telephone. But yeah, so to answer the first is yeah, I want to do covers and collaborations as much as possible with creators and artists, and just to cut my teeth there. I really have no idea about this gauntlet. I should have went and stole Rob Norton's design. And I mean, I have the books there. I could always. I'm gonna paint this thing, so this may not be the final form. Saboteur over there with the distribution, putting packages in the mail, huh, bud? I see you. I don't know what the hell that is now. But what I have been looking at is suits of armor and see how the panels work on their gauntlets. So I think that'll work. That almost makes me regret doing that mark. All right. What else? What else? I'm looking at the reference here. I'll show you. I'll show you on the horizontal here. Image. Where is it? Is it obviously? That's the OG. Oh, of course, it's gonna do that. And what I ended up doing was using photo editing. Can we do this? All right, that's the OG. And then I went ahead and I just drew right over it in Photoshop, Photo P, just to get the, just try to match how big the gauntlet was going to look. Not too shabby. I think it came out all right. Remove. And so Rick Bulow is going to paint a version of this. I didn't know what was his preference, so I kept showing him some drawing updates, and I was like, "You let me know how much detail you need," and he really didn't need that much detail. One, because the cover's so popular, and he was going to paint over the lines anyway. So here, I'll show you. I'll show you his style here. Just trying to get a dry brush so I can do this effect here. It's too much water. You can tell that's an homage. Yeah, you adapted so much. Yeah, I was trying not to. I wanted to make sure that it read clearly enough of what it was supposed to be. I mean, it's hard not to. Hey, man, that looks like that thing. So, but hey, you want to see? This is his work here. So he's been. I don't know when he started, if he started, but let me. Boop, 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 boop. Can you see that page of his is really cool, and I can only scroll from here. You see that all right? So I'm really curious of how his art style is going to. Like, that's cool. I don't know if he's going to go digital. I don't know if he's going to paint it. So I am actually really curious of what it's going to look like. I think that's cool. We shall see. We shall see. I'm really curious, and I'm sure it's going to look amazing. That's one of those things that you just gotta trust, I guess. Trust how it's all gonna come out. Um, and it's kind of like why I ended up. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm excited to see what it's gonna come out as. I am still gonna paint this one. I wasn't going to, just because I'm gonna close that. I was feeling some type of way about. I didn't want it to appear competitive, I guess is what I'm looking for. Anything like that, or I am really curious to how his is gonna look, and I trust that it's gonna look really cool. I do have some other collaborations with other artists, which have I have given them the pencils to some of my work to see how they're gonna ink and do their own stuff over them. That I haven't touched those pencils. But some of this, I do have some stuff that I haven't given away for collaboration that I can't wait to work on. Like I'm gonna do, if I can finish this today, which I think we can say is pretty much done. I'm just gonna be noodling in here. I I'm going to spray it so I can put the gesso and the fixative for the inks. So we shall see. I might have to do something with these fingers here. I wonder if I'll be. I think I should be able to keep that shine even when I paint it. Hopefully. Scooch that over so you guys can see it and drop it. So it should be good. I hope so. I think that's about as much noodling as I can do here. I started streaming on I started streaming on Twitch, and seeing their Twitch bots come through is kind of funny. I think the rest I can use a marker. I'm just going to do the outline so I can find where to tape. I would really like to use my calligraphy, these flat quill pens. I'll use the small one. Yeah. See how I do. I'm gonna need ink for that. Yeah, bleed a little bit there, but that's easily cleaned up. Maybe without. Did I jump? I'm not too worried about the border, honestly, because I can paint over it. I don't have the skills. This ink is drying really quickly. Am I not getting it in there? I'm a rookie when it comes to the nibs. I'm actually gonna go with the same color. I like the because his suit is purple. I mean, it's almost they were giving it away the the homage, right? That orange to yellow background to the purple and silver. Uh, we shall see though, right? Because he got brown hair. I don't know how much this would pop. The chrome would pop. It might do well. It might do well if I use a lot of blues for his gauntlet. Then it would make sense to keep the color scheme. But I think I want to keep that color scheme. It's just too good. I'm not doing anything that I can't just erase after. Uh, Some small sharp lines are on the gauntlet. I actually wanted to use acrylic as my inks, just so I won't have to use so much, just because I know it'll hold up well with the gesso. But what was the but? What was the but for? If I didn't, because this Strathmore blue ink on it will run when I apply the gesso. It's happened already. And even though I'm going to paint over it. I didn't want too much of a mess. Oh, Seb, this was the number 5 calligraphy quill. Nib. I don't use it enough. I don't use them at all. I just need to be a little bit better on what I practice on, honestly. I think that's it. What do you guys think? Do my borders, spray it up. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. And that gives me enough time for the rest of the day to spray it and prep it for tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you. That are my markers. I have some other brushes coming that are calligraphy. They have like goat hair. I just need something to hold the point. The one disappointing thing, I have uh, the RPad, these Strathmore RPads, and they're not very well with their measurements. No page is the same. No page is accurate. Some of the lines are askew. So I have. Oh, thank you, sir. So nice. I got two of them, bud. Um, I, what am I talking about? Oh yeah, I got a comic template. One, thank you to Saboteur for letting me use his. And I have a few that I'm going to try out, and I'm just going to either print them right out on blank Bristol board, But I really can't wait to start doing for realsies sequential artwork. My own or somebody else's. I think that if somebody did the breakdowns, I can use my style over the breakdowns while honoring their work. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, Mr. Saboteur. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, Mr. Norton. All right, clean that. Yeah, that's not bad. I like the shine, pretty good. I like the. I could possibly go thicker with the holding lines for the line weight for the fist and his hands, just so that they can pop out. But I think I can do that in the painting process. And I got to consider that this Wolverine has a glove, Fisto has his bare hand, so that would have to be skin tone from dark to skin tone to white. Yes. Now, this is where I would probably, and I'll definitely 100% make a mess here. So I'm going to put my inks away. I'm always an elbow nudge away to making a mess. And I don't want to do that. This is here, the sweet nectar of life. You guys don't see me in the vertical, but I'm basically using a syringe to put the ink that I didn't, the unused ink, right back. Scoochy scooch. Of course, I'm going to put the water container right to the edge of the table to test fate. Put that away. Put that away. Board. I wish I had something a little bit better to use as my platform. Graphite smudge, yeah. Well, that's why I started using my gloves. I because I don't mind graphite smudge on paper because it makes for when you erase to do really cool shading and form as if you were doing charcoal, which is my jam. One second. Creep out of here. I thought I had. This is too big. I thought I had a board that I can use. I mean, this is just cardboard. I'll use this instead. And my unfinished Galactus. The Dilla Rangers has returned. Welcome back, Dilla Ranjar. Rand Jar. Okay. Put that right there so you guys can see it perfectamente. So what I'll end up doing is maybe the first orange color, the deep orange red color, I can use that as my border. We'll see what happens. Not quite sure yet. It's either going to be white or that color. I think that it'll give the a really cool graphic effect. The cool thing about what I ended up doing before with this one is I actually taped taped the borders after I had sprayed and fixed everything. Curious if I should do that, because if I do, if I don't, and take this as is, it's gonna smell like fixative and gesso in my house. So I'm not gonna do that, and I'll risk tearing the paper. So that idea has been nixed, and with that, I think I am Gucci. I'm gonna sign it here, even though I'm gonna paint over it. Put my mellow after Frank. And then I'll spend the rest of the day prepping it for tomorrow. After Miller. 2K 26. All right. I think that's pretty good. I like the way it came out. It still has Wolverine's face. I think I think this does need a little more line weight. Thank you for the corazones. Thank you for the hearts. Appreciate that. To stand out. I appreciate you drawing while talking. And thank you for hanging out with me today. For realsies. And I will see you tomorrow. So yeah, I am going to let the music play out for a little bit while I line it up. But yeah, appreciate you. God bless you. Love you. Mean it. And I'll see you on the next one.